So, good afternoon everyone. My name is Arlene Tricia Barbosa from BSA 3. And for today's video, we need to discuss the circulatory system. So, we have here the objective. First objective is to determine the role of the circulatory system in the human body. Second, we need to distinguish the three major components of the circulatory system. The third is list down diseases that affect the circulatory system. And last, we need to identify ways to take care of the circulatory system. We have here the diagram of the circulatory system. So the blood circulatory system or cardiovascular system delivers the nutrients and oxygen to all cells in our body. So in short, the blood or the circulatory system transport the nutrients and oxygen inside our body, and it consists with the heart and the blood vessels running through the entire body. So the artery, that part of the heart, carry the blood away from the heart, and the veins that carry it. So, the circulatory system always do is the main job to pump the oxygen from our lungs to the body. Yan po yung main functions ng circulatory, is to pump the oxygen from our lungs to the body. So, the right side of your heart pumps the blood through the lungs, and the blood from the lungs is pumped by the left side. So, to all the parts of our body. Blood coming back from the body part goes into the right side. So the circulatory system, or also called the cardiovascular system or the vascular system, is an organ that permits blood to circulate and transport nutrients such as amino acids and electrolytes, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hormones, and blood cells to and from the cells in the body to provide nourishment and help in fighting diseases, stabilize temperature and pH, and maintain homeostasis. Yan po ang circulatory system. So, it permits the blood to circulate and transport the nutrients like amino acid or electrolytes, the oxygen, carbon dioxide, hormones, and blood cells to and from the cells in the body to provide the nourishment and help in to fight the diseases like stabilize temperature and pH and maintain homeostasis. So the circulatory system, the human circulatory system simplified, the red indicates oxygenated blood carried in arteries, the blue indicates deoxygenated blood carried in vein, the capillary which join the artery and vein, and the lymphatic vessels are not. Yan po ang diagram ng circulatory system in the left side. So the red is indicated as the red blood cells. Yan. Hindi ko na siya maana. So, red indicates oxygenated blood carried in artery. The blue indicates deoxygenated blood carried in vein. And the capillary which join the artery and the vein. Yan po. So, we have here the fourth chamber of the heart. So, the heart has four chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricle. So, the right atrium receives oxygen, pour blood from the body, and pumps it to the right ventricle. The right ventricle pumps the oxygen, pour blood to the lungs. So, the left atrium receives oxygen, rich blood from the lungs, and pumps it to the left ventricle. Yan po yung fourth chamber ng ating heart. So, the blood flow down through the right atrium to the right ventricle, then to the left atrium to the left ventricle. Yan po yung chamber ng ating heart. Next. So, parts of the circulatory system. So, the circulatory system consists of 3 independent systems that work together. The heart, which means a cardiovascular, the lungs, which is the pulmonary, and artery, we have the vein, coronary, and portal vessels, which is the systematic system. So the system is responsible for the flow of the blood, nutrients, oxygen, and other gases, and as well as the hormones to and from the cells. Yan po. So, malaki po yung gampanin ng circulatory system kasi it consists of 3 system na nag-work together para sa ating body. Like the heart, which is the cardiovascular, the pulmonary, which is the lungs, and the artery, which is a systematic system. So, the circulatory system is responsible for the flow of blood, the nutrients, oxygen, and other gases, and as well as hormones to and from cells. Yan po ang laki po ng gampanin ng circulatory system sa ating katawan na kailangan natin na alagaan, yan, i-maintain yung kalusugan natin para maging healthy tayo. Yan po. The circulatory system is made up of blood, heart, and blood vessels. Yan po. The circulatory is made up of blood, heart, and blood vessels. Yan. We have here the diagram. So, the functions of circulatory system. The human circulatory functions is to transport, as I said lately, that it transport the blood and oxygen from the lungs to the various tissues of our body. So, the heart pumps the blood throughout the body, and the lymphatic system is an extension of the human circulatory system that includes a cell-mediated and antibody-mediated and immune system. Yan po yung functions ng ating circulatory system. Transport or deliver the blood and oxygen from the lungs to the various tissues of our body. Yan po. So, diseases of circulatory system. We have here the overview. The circulatory system is your heart and blood vessels, and it's essential to keeping your body functioning. This finally turn system carries oxygen, nutrients, electrolytes, and hormones throughout our body. So, interruptions, blockage, or diseases that affect how your heart or blood vessels pump blood can cause complications such as heart diseases or stroke. So, this complication can arise due to a variety of factors, from genetic to lifestyle. So, we have here the types of circulatory system diseases and disorder, and what are their symptoms. First is the high blood pressure. So, the high blood pressure, when we say high blood pressure, blood pressure is the measurement of how much force is used to pump the blood through your artery. If you have a high blood pressure, you are called hypertension. It means the force is higher than it should be. And high blood pressure can damage your heart and can lead into heart diseases, stroke, or kidney diseases. So, there are no symptoms with high blood pressure, which is why it's often called a silent killer. Yan po. So, we had this hypertension. So, we have here the CAD. So, which is the coronary artery disease, CAD. So, arteriosclerosis is also known as hardening of the arteries. Hardening of the arteries. Yan po yung arteriosclerosis, and it occurs when plaque builds up of the walls on your artery and eventually block of the blood flow. Yan, binablock po niya yung blood natin. Imbis na tuloy-tuloy yung daloy, yan po, hinaharangan niya yung pagdaloy ng ating dugo sa ating katawan. And it blocks its cholesterol, fat, and calcium. Yan po yung arteriosclerosis. Next is the coronary artery disease. As I said, it is a cut and indicates that the plaque buildup in your artery has caused narrow and harden. Yan po. Blood clot further block with the artery. We have here the heart attack. It occurs when not enough blood reaches your heart. This can happen due to artery blockage. So heart attack damage the heart muscles and are medical emergencies. Yan. So, pain in the center or left side of the chest that feels like mild or severe discomfort, pressure, fullness, or squeezing. So, pain that radiates from the jaw, shoulder, arm, or across the back. Yan po yung symptoms ng heart attack. Shortness of breath, sweating, nausea, irregular heartbeat, unconsciousness, and women often experience heart attacks a little differently with pressure or aching in the back. So, heart failure. It is sometimes called congestive heart failure. So, heart failure occurs when the heart muscle is weakened or damaged. It can no longer pump the volume of blood needed throughout our body. So, heart failure normally occurs when you've had other heart problems, such as heart attack or coronary artery disease. So, early symptoms of heart failure includes fatigue, swelling in your ankles, and increased need to urinate at night. So, more severe symptoms include rapid breathing, chest pain, and fainting. Next is the stroke. Strokes often occur when a blood clot blocks an artery in the brain and reduces the blood supply. They also can happen when a blood vessels in the brain breaks open. So both events can keep blood and oxygen from reaching the brain. As a result, parts of our brain are likely to be damaged. Yan po yung stroke. So, a stroke requires immediate medical attention. Yan. So, a stroke, you can identify a stroke with a fast test. Yan po. Para ma-identify mo kung meron kang nararamdaman na stroke, you can test it with fast test. So, face drooping, arms weakness, speech difficulty, and time to call 911. Abdominal aortic aneurysm. So, it is a bulge in a weakened part of the aorta. The aorta is the largest blood vessel in your body. So, it carries the blood from your heart to abdomen, legs, and pelvis. If the aorta is ruptured, it can cause heavy bleeding that's life-threatening. So, an abdominal aortic aneurysm can stay small and never cause the problems, in which case your doctor may take a wait and watch approach. When it becomes larger and you may experience pain in the abdomen or your back. So, largely and rapidly growing abdominal aortic aneurysm are at greatest risk. Yan po yung abdominal aortic aneurysm that a part of the disease of the circulatory system. Next is the peripheral artery disease or the PAD. It is the arteriosclerosis that occurs in the extremities, usually in your legs. So it reduces the blood flow to your legs as well as to your heart and brain. So if you have a PAD or the peripheral artery disease, you're at greater risk of developing other circulatory system disease. So many people have no symptoms with PAD. Yan. But if you do, symptoms may include pain or cramping in the legs, especially when you are walking. Yan po yung symptoms. Kadalasan po, yung pain or cramping sa ating mga binti. Especially pag ikaw ay naglalakad. Yan po yung PAD. So, ways of taking care circulatory system. How can you take care of your circulatory system. So we need to engage in physical activity. You need to exercise at least 30 minutes or more most of the days of the week, or it is advised to improve the health of your heart and circulatory system. So physical activity can help manage your weight and reduce your risk of developing other conditions that make your circulatory system work harder, like high blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol. Exercise is even effective when broken down into shorter sessions. So quit smoking and tobacco use. Smoking and using tobacco use products significantly increase your heart diseases. So it damages your heart and circulatory system by the chemical compounds in tobacco can cause atherosclerosis, which may lead to heart attack. Once you quit smoking, your risk of heart diseases significantly decrease over the next year. So according to Mayo Clinic website, regardless of how long you have smoked or used of tobacco products, you will notice the benefits of quitting as soon as possible. Yan. So you need also to eat high quality foods. So your food intake can significantly improve the health of your circulatory system and heart. So we need to diet. So diet containing 5 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables. Whole grains and low-fat dairy products are most beneficial to the circulatory system. Avoid processed foods. Foods that are high in saturated and trans fats and excessive alcohol consumption can also improve your circulatory health. And you need to maintain a healthy weight. Manage a healthy weight plays a major role in the health of your circulatory system. Being overweight can increase risk of your high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol, all of which put you at increased risk for heart attack and other circulation problems. So by just losing of 10% of your body weight, you can significantly increase the odds of not developing these chronic diseases. So, kadalasan po na nagkakaroon ng sakit sa puso is yung mga overweight, mga obese, yan. At kadalasan po nilang sakit ay ang high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. Yan po. Kaya kailangan po nating mag-maintain ng ating weight. So, we have here the question. This is the job of the circulatory system. Yan, yung mga tanong po natin. But, I'm thankful for this video. Enjoy watching.